All right, there we go, Michael. Have no fear. Mikey and Vinnie are here. It's
live from the West Coast, folks. How are you today? Mikey and Vinnie are here on a Monday and a Wednesday and a Friday.
Well, today, Monday. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, we're with any luck, we're going to have Wednesdays and Fridays this week, but no guarantees.
We're signed up for Wednesday and Friday.
There's the blockade that could prevent that, but right now that's the way it looks.
Well, just don't go to Iran between now and Friday, and you'll probably be okay.
You know, I'm rewatching Homeland. Kristen and I are rewatching the whole 8 seasons or whatever it is. And the events in that show, which is about the CIA and the interactions between the Middle East and all the events that happen in Iran and Iraq and Israel and Russia, all the influences that make intelligence work so exciting and frustrating to experience as a subject matter for reality and for drama. And the parallels and the events and the people that take place in that fictional show are so remarkably similar to what's going on in reality. And it's fascinating to say, oh, there's Iran again, there's Iraq again, there's what we did 10 years ago coming back to haunt us. There's the agreement we made that backfired 5 years later. There's the person that you trusted who cheated you out of peace in our time. And it's just one element of the story after another that parallels or hits right on the head the reality that we're going through right now, Vinnie. And we can't seem to stop it. We can't seem to stop our involvement in the Middle East. We can't learn from any experience. We've had Iraq and Afghanistan and now Iran. And what have we learned? We've learned bupkis. We've learned nothing but shit. We haven't gotten any smarter. We haven't gotten any stronger. We haven't gotten any better.
Yeah, as long as we're addicted to what they have, it's going to be that way. As long as we're addicted to oil, as long as we have this fear that if we can't get the oil through the Straits of Hormuz, that we as a nation will die.
Coffee.
And as long as we delay our pursuit of alternative energy and treat it like a joke and treat it like it's something that is can't be done. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to be involved. You know, I mean, your nation runs on what they have. We need what they have. And other nations too, not just us. Actually, if you really look at it, we probably don't need what they have. We probably can get pretty much what we need from our own ground, from Alaska, from all these different places. But the problem is we're not willing to screw up some of our places to get that oil. So I don't know that we'll ever see any kind of situation where we're not involved somehow in the Middle East anymore. You know,
the idea that Israel is our good friend gets called into question pretty regularly in reality and in fiction because we follow their lead and we end up in war, or we don't follow their lead and we assist them in their war, or we say we're going to have peace and we really mean it this time, but Israel wants one more week of bombing of Hezbollah in another country and destroys the basis for peace in Lebanon forever. And it's one element of this story after the other. And the Saudis hate Iran and the Israel hates Iran. And between the two of them, they're willing to extend this war and this offensive attitude and this crucial warlike relationship that we have with the whole region. Now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, there's no plan to make it peaceful. There's no plan to be done with it. It's just a plan to, next time we do this, we're going to start bombing and we're going to go here and we're going to go there. We'll get Hezbollah. We'll wipe them out. We'll turn Lebanon and Beirut into another Gaza. Just a rebel. We can make rebel anywhere.
Well, and unfortunately, it's the same story with every administration, it's not, I mean, yeah, you could say that Trump doesn't know how to prosecute the war, right, or this or that, but this is not something that started when Trump got into office.
He's making it worse with every element.
He's done it in a way that is unique, to say the least. And
I can't believe that the generals let him do it so poorly, that they let him execute it so haphazardly, that they just say, yeah, you're the president and you're the commander in chief. We're just 4-star generals. What the fuck do we know? Yeah, let's try it your way. Let's mess it up and fuck it up and close the Straits of Hormuz ourselves. Are they open? Yeah, they're open. Well, we can close them. We can close it forever.
Yeah, it's just and listen, I don't have the answer to it. I don't know that anybody has the answer to it. You're dealing with people, as I've been saying all my life, you're dealing with people that have been fighting each other for 5,000 years.
Happily
fighting each other. Doing things like cutting each other up and throwing them out the palace window. And I mean, just brutal.
What are the windows for in a palace if you can't throw bodies out?
If you can't throw people out of them. So why do we think with our, 250 years of experience that we are able to go in there and say, well, look, if you do it like this, fellas, it'll be okay. And they're going to look and say, well, we hadn't thought of that before in the last 5,000 years. I don't know.
And it's set up perfectly, Vinnie, because if the Israelis are not fighting the Iranians, the Sunnis will fight the Shiites while they're waiting for somebody to fight them both.
Yeah,
they gladly go at each other.
That wants to fight. There's no shortage of people that want to fight each other.
No, and you may have to wait in line to fight the guy that you want to fight, but it'll happen.
It's like it's like hanging out in an Irish bar every night. You know that at some point in the night, somebody's going to want to fight somebody. Somebody's going to say the wrong thing, insult the guy's girlfriend, talk about his mother, or talk about corned beef and cabbage and potatoes and how they shouldn't go together.
Or just drink until you get in the mood to fight anybody over anything. That won't take long.
Yeah.
Six drinks. I think 5 drinks maybe.
Yeah. And the intoxicate. And listen, don't give me the stuff that the Irish. Listen, I've hung out in enough Irish bars in my life to know exactly what the scenario is.
Why do you think they're Irish bars? Why aren't they Lebanese bars? There aren't any Lebanese bars.
Oh, there are. There's actually that there are a ton of Lebanese and Middle Eastern hookah bars and places like that. There's tons of them. But I never see anybody getting thrown out the front door at 3:00 in the morning.
Not as much
in those places. No. I mean, they sit back, they get stoned on the hashish, and they keep going.
Yeah, the Irish should smoke more dope because you get 2 guys named Paddy drinking Irish whiskey. It's not going to be long. It won't be long. It'll be over soccer. It'll be over North Ireland. It'll be over English involvement. It'll be over what his girlfriend wore, the socks that he wore this morning. Yeah.
Well, on that happy note, is your city down there in Los Angeles and Pasadena, are you guys cleaning up your city as we are here, getting ready for the World Cup to come to town and bring its circus and its show and it's a big party bus to your city?
Yeah, we put the same guys in charge of the party that do the Academy Awards. They know how to close streets, and they know how to get the catering going and where to park the cars that the valet parking has to take care of, and the hotels. We got plenty of hotels. We know how to party. You want to borrow jewelry for the event? We know how to do that. You want your girlfriend to get a new dress for the party? Uh, the wives of the team, where are they going to go? How are they going to shop in Beverly Hills? We got that all taken care of. It's going to
How
be a
about
party town.
cleaning up the homeless and picking up the needles? What are you doing about that? Because that's something that's become big up here.
I think we're going to
Is
let that go.
we want to put a good face on the city.
Well, we
For
got
the
it's a lot of sprawl in LA, so there's room for the homeless to be in their area. And if you want to shoot drugs on the street, we got places for that downtown. We have our own um, Tenderloin, and it's not a safe place. It's not a good place. But with 10 million people in the city, there's a place for everybody. But it's not based on comfort and need. It's just based on necessity and tradition. And we're going to let a lot of that go. If you're coming to LA for the World Cup and you want to shoot drugs when you get here, we can accommodate you.
you'll have a place, yeah. Because we're here. We've sent out volumes of different types of cleanup workers to scour the streets for used hypodermic needles. They're picking up tons of them.
Really?
And any sign of dope paraphernalia.
Seattle's still a mecca for heroin use.
Yeah, it still is. Yeah.
The rain and the heroin seem to go together.
Yeah, well, depression. Depression and heroin seem to go together, unfortunately.
Yeah.
When you are in a place that the sun doesn't shine, you need to get your sunshine somewhere.
Yeah.
And so heroin seems to be a place that many people turn to get their sunshine on those dismal, dark days.
It's a one-way street, though. There's a downside to heroin that I shouldn't have to point out, but apparently the users of it forget now and then that there's a price to pay.
Yeah, well, there's a price to pay for everything. I mean, we see that. The thing with the heroin is, unfortunately, most of the users of it die before they have to go through the process or die as a part of the process.
Yeah, that dependency is hard on the body.
I mean, it takes a lot of things out of you. And so I don't know exactly what we're doing about the people, but I know that we are full on trying to make the city look good for the World Cup people that are coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
That we don't want them to step on a nail, on a needle. We don't want them to even really encounter the.
What neighborhood should they avoid in Seattle to be safe?
Michael, that's a good question because it's all over. I mean, you go, the biggest area where you would probably find drug use right now is south of the stadiums. Is just right there, set because that's where the encampments are, the campers. A big popular thing here is, well, I'm sure in LA too, is to get an old camper and park it on the street somewhere and live in it.
Yeah.
You're living in it. It essentially gives you a home.
Yeah, we have that in LA.
For a lot of people, that's a home. That's their place of residence.
Yes.
That's what they can afford.
This is south of Pioneer Square.
Yeah, just right south of Pioneer Square. And so that seems to be a place where there is a lot of this heroin use, these needles and everything going on. That they're finding them, and so that
how do they mix with how does that mix with the beautiful people who just want to go out drinking martinis?
Well, the beautiful people don't go to Pioneer Square anymore. Unfortunately, Pioneer Square has lived up to its name of a place not to go.
That's too bad.
the bars are still there. The clubs are still there, but it's mostly young people, very young people, or people from out of town that hear about it and they go there. Most of the people that come to this, actually, you know what? To be honest with you, a lot of people go to Bellevue. A lot of people go, a lot of people that want to, the beautiful people, if you will, go over to Bellevue and don't come to Seattle. Or they go up on Capitol Hill. That's a step above, a big step, I think, above Pioneer Square. But the scene, like it was when we were younger, when Swannies and places like that were going on, it's not the same. Before a ball game, after a ball game, but even the Mariners have taken care of that because they took over that block across the street from the stadium, the ballpark, and they've turned it into a bar, restaurant type of place where fans can hang out and they can get their money before they go into the ballpark, which is a pretty good idea.
Right.
It's actually a not a bad place to get a $35 beer or $30 beer. I forget how much.
Can I get a $15 hot dog?
Oh, with ease. And people willingly go in and they meet there and they hang out there. But staying a couple of blocks up, while some people still do it, I don't know that it's the thing it used to be when we were here. When we were doing the show back in the 90s. It's just there's too much of a stink put on it by the media, by by different people, by events that have happened. Again, I don't go there. That's not my scene anymore.
Right.
I miss those days when we used to go in those places and have fun. It used to be when we were going down, it used to be great, right? You had Swanee's place. You go downstairs and they had the Miss No Fat contest and all the different things that used to go on. But not to mention the fact that it's extremely expensive to drink outside of your house anymore.
Yeah.
$20 for a cocktail.
That's not the FX McCrory price game.
Well, there is no FX McCrory. As a matter of fact, it's interesting that Mick closed FX McCrory several years ago. It's probably over 10 years, and has never opened up anything in its place.
That is odd, isn't it?
It has sat empty for at least the last 10 years.
So he sold it, but it stayed empty?
He closed it.
He didn't
just
sell
decided
it.
That now I don't know if I don't know if he owns that building or exactly what his deal was. I suspect that he didn't own the building. I suspect that he rented that space, but nothing has ever gone in that space. There's a couple of window displays and kind of like that, but nothing. Now there's been a few places that have opened up on Occidental Street, which is a street that goes between FX McCrory's and the ballpark, passes the stadium. But there's an Elysian Fields Brewery that's opened up there, and a bunch of other places. All those places that used to be warehouses and stuff like that, they've for the most part, turned into bars or restaurants. But not a lot of action in those places when it's not a ball game.
So a lot of people are getting the message that it's not a gold mine to own a restaurant next to the ballpark. I just don't understand that.
Well, again, it's just the whole thing is spread out. McCrory's used to be the only thing down there, but now that whole street is filled. First Avenue, as you go south of the ballpark, has places on both sides, and they're open. But it's and there's a club there, the Showbox Sodo, which is a part of the Showbox that was up on First Avenue. They have bands there, and when there's something going on there, the neighborhood is busier. But I think for the most part, if there's not a game, it's not the place to go. You know, it's better than it was 20 years ago.
More
There's
choices.
more action down there. There's a strip club that is a gentleman's club that has been put up there, much to the objection of the Mariners, but they didn't win that one. So, you know, there's places, but again, when it's not, there's not an event going on at the ballpark or at the football stadium, those places don't attract much. Now, you know, there's people that are trying to put more events in the stadium and stuff like that and the ballpark, but there's a real stink on downtown Seattle. You know, I mean, Pete, this is not the destination it used to be.
Yeah.
People
And
don't
it's a long, narrow strip of available bar, restaurant neighborhoods.
Yeah, and you know, places like Bellevue, you know, those suburban towns, Woodinville, different towns on the east side, have opened up places. It's an area now that you look at and you say, "Gee, do I want to travel all the way into Seattle?"
And I can drink in Kirkland.
When I can drink in Kirkland, when I can drink or I can go party in Bellevue. And the clubs are just as nice, just as friendly. I just don't think that downtown Seattle has the allure for people that it once did.
I think
Now, I
downtown
may
San
be wrong.
Francisco
It's
has got
not
a
my
story
scene.
like that. Mm-hmm.
But I know that for the World Cup, and when it comes here, those places will be busy. Those places will be hopping, but they're going to do what they can to get the riffraff, you know, the undesirables, as they've been called many times, to get the homeless people out of that area so that we don't make a bad impression on the world, because it is, after all, the World Cup.
And we want them to think that we're living in a controlled, sterile society without problems, without homeless, without illness, without addiction. We got to figure it out over here.
Yeah, well, you know, we also want, and I think it's tough for people to think these days that way. I mean, there's, you know, most of the world is looking at this country and going, "What the hell happened?"
The speeches that have been made in Parliament recently in England are so revealing. They're just saying, "Look, the president's out of his mind. The nation doesn't make any sense anymore. They're not our allies. They present a clear and present danger to us, and we have to prepare for life without the United States because they're no longer a factor in our safety. They're a factor in the danger that we face in the world."
And we are booming, depending on who you listen to, and what you read. We are booming toward quickly becoming, if not a third world nation, certainly one that is going to have to go a long way toward regaining trust among allies, among
We
people
have no
that
allies.
formerly trusted us. Now, maybe the midterms will do something toward that, but I think it's going to take more than an election.
The next president's going to have to go on. It's going to have to be like the Pope, going to a country, saying nice things, having dinner with the president, shaking hands, saying, "We're back. We got this. Don't worry about it. If you need help, call me." And then next week, go to another European nation or a South American nation or to the Philippines or wherever we have to go, to Japan, for instance, who hasn't been getting fuel for their entire civilization, like Australia, like New Zealand. All of them have been cut off since this war started. That 20% that they're talking about, that of the oil that goes through the Strait of Hormuz, where does it go? It goes to the east, it goes to Japan, it goes to China, it goes to Australia, but it doesn't go there now. And that's our fault, 100% our fault.
And when you see some of these nations now looking toward China, looking toward Russia, looking toward India to help them to, for technical help, for different kinds of help, it starts to make you worry even more because, the go-to used to be the United States.
Nobody wants to hang with Trump and his ilk or see Kash Patel.
They don't know what's going to happen. They can't trust it.
Bring a 12-pack of beer if you're going to go see Kash Patel about anything. If the FBI is needed, send and make sure that beer is cold. Get it right out of the freezer and send it over there to the FBI. Tell Kash that you want to talk to him.
Boy, what made that frat boy look attractive to running anything?
Because he looks like a frightened raccoon. If you ever seen a raccoon that's been startled in his work while he's washing his food and going through your garbage, Kash Patel, look at his eyes. They're raccoon eyes.
Yeah, explain to me what is it that you see in him that, besides the fact that he will probably do anything you ask him to do.
Full stop. That's all you got to do. Full stop. You can make him do anything. You can make him do tricks. You can make him jump through a hoop. He's like a Portuguese water dog that's highly trained.
Yes, you just, I don't know. I look at it and I go, man, this guy, I always have this picture of the directors of the FBI. I say what you want about Hoover. There was a certain image that he projected. There was a certain professionalism.
The black dress, the simple black dress.
Right, the simple black dress. Yeah. Pumps before 5 o'clock, not heels,
Right.
But right on through Webster and all of these people that just going through our history, at the very least created an organization that demanded respect and also did policing a certain way. Again, the thing to me is always if they go to get somebody, they shoot them in the knee.
Yeah.
Not in the heart.
Not to center mass.
Yeah, they bring their man in or woman or they go out there and maybe they take longer to do it. Maybe they have a different method of doing it, but they get the job done. They were the best police force on the face of the earth when it came to that kind of policing.
And they had as an additional responsibility to protect us from the threats from outside, from the terrorists, from the bombers, from the killers, from the assassins, from the snipers. And we've been warned that that's coming as a result of this war that we started.
There's no doubt in my mind that, that it's only a matter of time until, they figure out how to get some people or the people are already in the country or they pay somebody enough money. If you think that this war is not going to cost us in some shape, manner, or form, you're nuts.
It's not the way the game is played. The game is played.
Right, it's just a matter of time. They showed us how the game is played. And they showed us that if they try something, they don't get it once, they
just
come back again.
Yeah, you guys are going at the World Trade Center again? Well, we got the bomb going, but we didn't get the building down, and we have bigger plans. So we're going to try it again. And I'm telling you now that we're going to try it again, but you won't be able to stop us this time.
Yeah. Again, you're dealing with people that have experience at this kind of stuff. They invented subterfuge.
The one of the lines that they use in Homeland, I keep referring to that because it's such a parallel to what's going on in real world, is the line that the guys told the CIA, "I will fight you forever. This is never going to be settled.
Yeah.
You can do what you want. You can come to any conclusions you want. You can have any initiative you want. You can hire and organize yourself in any way that you can, but I will fight you forever."
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a piece of, I think it comes out of kind of that whole European thing, or probably Middle Eastern too. But the things that you see where it's you have to get revenge. You have to live your life, pledge your life
Yeah.
to getting back at the person that got you at
And
some
it'll
point.
never be settled, but that's not the point. Is it,
Right. As
we
a matter of fact,
can't let this stand.
in some strange ways, you don't want it settled because the energy that comes off of that drives you, keeps you going, makes you better, or so you think. And this absolute rubbish of trying to make peace with each other and trying to give an inch here and negotiate this that. It's all a bunch of that hogwash.
That's why the negotiations are meant to go on for so long, because they are part of the fight. Negotiating is just fighting without guns. Negotiating is going for the same goal that you were going with the bombs and the C4 and the airplanes in the buildings. Those are all great, but the United States doesn't understand that negotiating for us is not negotiating. It's another form of war.
Yeah, I mean, you send J.D. Vance over there. I mean, good God.
And don't forget Jared. Jared's very important.
Yeah, well, he got the what do you call it, Accords? I don't know. Listen, I wish them a lot of luck. I hope that they figure out a way to get it settled without getting a lot of people killed. Most of the experts that you listen to, or that you read, or that you watch, don't have no faith in them whatsoever.
No,
Maybe.
they're incompetent from the time they get up in the morning till their last press conference at night. They got nothing on the ball. They are all Cash Patel with different names.
Yeah. Maybe they'll luck into something. Maybe they'll say, you know what? But I don't think so. I don't think so, because again, you have the guy at the top is so whacked out that he says one thing and does another. I don't know that when you threaten people all the time that you can
You can't
I don't
use
know,
it as a
especially when
tool.
you threaten people and you don't follow through on the threats.
It happens in real life. Anyone who just threatens you is not a threat, just a mouth, just a talker, not a person of action, not a person to be respected or to be feared.
He's not as Don Corleone said. He's not a serious man.
Right.
I heard you're a serious man, a man to be respected. I don't know. You you look at these guys that are running things in Washington and say they're serious men meant to be respected. No,
No.
they know that money um, money overrides everything. That we can be bought. It's not hard to buy us.
And we're happy if the market's good. If the market's good, we're good. If the market's bad, we're concerned. Not about the war, not about the events, not about the shakeout, but just, is the market with me today? If it's with me today, things are good. Things are
Yeah,
very good.
yeah. The market. That's the only thing we worry about is the market. We have
And
the
gas prices have nothing to do with it. If you have to pay a little at the thing, think how wonderful it's going to be when the prices come down. They'll tell you these prices are high now, but boy, are they going to come down. They're really
you'll
going to
feel
come
better
down.
when they come down. Everything will make you feel good. Oh man. So how did your Giants do over the weekend? I saw a clip. I didn't
We we got well with Washington. We didn't do well with Cincinnati.
yeah, what was the
Went
clip of somebody at the end of the game? The guy who made the last out for Cincinnati
got struck
evidently,
out, ended the
yeah, struck
game,
out,
and
and the Giants pitcher didn't seem to
the Giants
like
pitcher
the way
wanted him
he
to
struck
leave.
out.
He said, "Keep going. You're out. The game's over." His name's Miller, a big kid. You wouldn't want to charge the mound on Miller. And it got a lot of play because the Giants hadn't been playing well. Well, they haven't played well all season. They've won 9 and lost 13, something like that.
Yeah.
The end of the game was dramatic, and that it didn't turn into a fight. It was just a pushing match.
Yeah, it just looked like
But he wanted him to be not just out and the game over. He wanted him to leave, and the batter was not leaving in a timely fashion. So the pitcher instructed him that the game was over, he was out, and he should go take a shower. And the bench is empty and the bullpen's empty, but there was no fight. Just a
little.
I think the Reds were saying this is our park. We'll the game's over. We don't have to go take a shower until we feel like it. And the Giant pitcher was saying, "I'd like you to take that shower now."
A little dirty looking. That's all, right? A little, which is
little stink
baseball.
eye and pointing.
Which is baseball. Hey, could be worse. You could be the New York Mets. What is zoo it's turned into?
We haven't got we're just the Giants. We're not expected to do anything this year that's going to shock anybody. The complaints that I see online are that we're not feeling the best team that we have. We have guys that are having a better year that are sitting. Susak, the new catcher, is an example of that. Our outfield is not hitting. We're at the bottom of every offensive measurement in the National League. Giants are last. Runs scored, hits, batting with men in scoring position. All the elements and measurements of a potent offense show you that the Giants are last in every category. And they're not that bad on paper. It should be a better team, but it's just not firing on any. It can't be dependent upon the win. And Logan Webb, the ace, gets no run support. This is like his third season where when he pitches, we don't score. I don't know what it is. We can't score. We won't score. We have a man on second base. We can't get him in. It's just an old story, and it's getting
demoralizing.
It's getting pretty really tiring. Can anybody here play this game? And the answer is not really, not consistently, not to win a game. Thanks for asking.
The New York Mets have now won 11, lost, I should say, 11 in a row.
Wow,
and
that's hard to do.
Right, and it's led to now the manager of the team sitting there and giving a press conference, maybe Thursday night. I think it was Thursday or Friday, maybe, where he just sat in front of the media and named everything that was wrong with the team. He just sat there and basically looked like he was beat. Like, you don't have to fire me. I'm going to quit. I'm going to pull a Mike Hargrove and get my car and start driving east.
Or south or somewhere.
Or somewhere away. Now, in Mets' case, it seems to be interesting because they've thrown in a political angle to it.
They got political disagreement on the team within the lineup.
Well, yeah, it seems that many of the people that left the team had different political views than people that were on the team, and so they weren't offered contracts. They weren't rehired, and they were some of their best players. There's even
like
gone so
Alonso.
far. They've even gone so far as to say that Mayor Mandami is a Mets fan, an outspoken Mets fan, a Mets fan that slams the Yankees. The dream Mets fan. He talks crap about the Yankees. And he did so not too long ago. And ever since he gave that little speech about the Mets, they've lost those 10 in a row, 11 in a row.
And they're blaming him.
And so now it's the curse, along with everything else they're blaming him for in the city. They're now blaming him for the curse of the Mets.
Wow.
That this is his fault, what's going on, which is, absolute garbage, but it's hilarious.
Now, the Mets improved themselves in the offseason on paper, didn't they? They lost Alonso, though.
They lost Alonso, and you can make a case that he was their best player.
How's he doing with the Orioles?
He's now with the Orioles. He's not having a great season, but he's getting going. Certainly having a better season, it seems, than anybody on the Mets is having.
Wow.
They brought in a guy that was here last year that is a first baseman that had played one game at first base in 10 years.
So maybe not a first baseman.
And he seems to have a little trouble catching the ball at first base.
Does he have a glove? Some of the guys use gloves.
Alonso didn't leave him a glove to say, "Here, use this. It'll work." And Alonso,
he had to get one of his own.
Is a guy that can catch almost anything. He's known in the league, not only for his hitting and his jovial manner, but the fact that he can scoop things out of the dirt and make outs where mere mortals could not. But because he had different political views, it says, or people around the team are saying, that maybe he wasn't signed because of that.
So are the Mets aligning themselves with the Trump world or the opposing Trump world?
It seems the other way. It seems that they're much more on the Mandami side of the equation.
Gotcha.
And this is costing them, I guess, Francisco Lindor's wife is a media person, and he does work for some of the Democratic causes in the city. And so that has her as a Democrat. And guys that are on the conservative Republican side of things in the clubhouse don't like that. So he's getting heat for it. So not only is
this doesn't happen that often in baseball, does it? I mean, it can happen, but it doesn't seem to often.
But generally, people don't let it get to the point where it affects play. I mean, the easiest case I can think of was back in the 80s. Was it the 70s or the 80s with the Padres and the John Birch Society? And the players that were, as a matter of fact, some of those players, if not all of them, wound up on the Giants at different times.
Yeah. And where, strangely enough, the problems that they have with the Padres did not transfer to the Giants.
Right. Dave Dravecky and Eric Shao.
Right.
And I can't remember the other guy that was in there.
Those were the two, Shao especially.
Two major guys. And it really kind of hurt the Padres. I remember after '84 when they were good, uh, that period when they went to the World Series, they just these kind of things can pull apart a clubhouse.
Yes.
But that's where management comes in and kind of eases things over. But this is a new world. When
All
you
bets
pay
are on.
somebody $787 million,
You can't tell them also be quiet. We're going to pay you this, and also we're buying your silence.
yeah, people don't want to hear that.
True.
They don't want to take a chance on their $787 million outfielder not playing well. So it's really kind of, at least from what the eye can see, devastated this team. And I don't know what they're going to have to do to bring it back to where it can possibly function for the rest of the year.
Winning cures everything in baseball, as you know. You can't find a solution without winning.
Yeah. And whether that be changing the managers, whether that be mixing things up in the lineup, whether that be trading somebody, whatever it is.
Get a new caterer for
thought-
the clubhouse, new food, bring in new food.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something to shake it up. But it really seems that it's just not a good situation for them, not a good situation for the fans, not a good situation for anybody that's associated with that club. Now the Mariners are going through the same kind of they can't seem to win games, but I don't know that there's any politics involved in it. I just think it's the Mariners get off to a slow start every year.
Yeah. And the changes in the offseason don't seem to kick in right away. The Giants have, in the last 2 years, completely redone the infield. They have new first, second, short, and third base, and a new catcher. And it's the same shit. It's the same non-productive inability to win, inability to move the runners, inability to score runs, inability to be a threat, inability to pitch your way out of a situation. I don't know any element of the Giants game that I would rely on right now. And they have addressed it and replaced people and come with new lineups and new talent and cannot get them to hit the damn ball. And you know that getting well in baseball starts with hitting the ball. If you're not going to hit the ball, then nothing I can do for you. And there's nothing that you can do for yourself if you can't hit the ball.
Even if you make outs.
Allowed out's better than nothing.
Right. If you hit the ball, if you hit it on the nails, if you're hitting the ball hard to different places, eventually those balls are going to fall. Somebody's going to, it's just the way the game goes.
Right.
But when you're striking out, when you're hitting soft little weak grounders, when you can't buy a hit, because that gets into your head.
Yep.
That gets into you. Well, do I still have it?
And the other team's looking at you and go, they don't have it. We can beat them today.
Right. All we got to do is beat them for 3. We don't have to win the World Series here. All we got to do is beat them for 3 or 2 out of the 3 and get out of Dodge.
Right. Let's get on the plane and get out of here. We beat them.
Yeah, I think that that's the difference here. When we look at these 3 teams, hopefully the Giants will start to hit the ball on the screws. Hopefully they'll start to. I mean, there's talent there. It's got to wake up. I don't know. The Mariners much the same. I mean, these are the same guys that, basically that went to the,
Almost went to the show.
yeah, went as far as you could go without getting there.
Yeah. Didn't went very far. So far, but not far enough.
And they're notorious in the beginning of the season for being this way, for starting slow and all of a sudden catching on fire. We'll have to see. They've won a couple of games against the Texas Rangers, which is the top club in the West. I got a feeling that out of those three teams, the Mariners are your most likely to pull out of it. The Mets, I'm discouraged. I'm discouraged because another year here we are, and a team that was so much fun to watch 2 years ago is you don't want to watch them.
Yeah.
It depresses you to watch them. And that's sad. That's sad. When you turn on your team and it just doesn't feel good to watch them.
They don't look like they're going to compete. They just don't look like they're in the game.
Yeah. By the way, Aaron Rodgers, he's in the news.
What's he done? Is he quit or is he signed with a team in South America?
Well, he hasn't done anything, and that's the problem.
They want him to do something.
Well, they want him to say he's going to be back with the Steelers next year.
Wouldn't the Steelers rather come up with a different solution than a 45-year-old quarterback?
I think they would, but we'll see how the NFL draft goes, which oddly enough will be in Pittsburgh. Is it next week?
Mm-hmm.
Which is driving the town crazy. People all over the place are renting their houses out for phenomenal amounts of money.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Oh, you mean yeah, Verbo or one of those places. Yeah. But yeah, I see people that I know have ads on. They want to rent out their house for $2,000 for a week or $3,000 for a week.
But the house is in Altoona. It's just a 2-hour commute to town, right?
Well, I think for $2,000 you got to be closer than that.
Yeah,
I think you got to be next to the stadium or near the stadium.
What hotel is going to be the centerpiece of the convention center?
I think they're doing it at the stadium, if I'm not mistaken. I think they've set up like like they have a tent type deal that they're putting in the parking lot. I think that might be where they're going to wind up doing it. Now, I don't know. Maybe the PPG Center is in on it as well. But it seems to just heard something go off out there. Maybe they're starting to attack us here.
Maybe they're drafting a new quarterback.
Yeah, so it's I'll have to find out exactly what they're doing because I saw a setup for the stadium and some temporary buildings outside. So that led me to believe that they were doing it at the stadium. But again, it may be at PPG, which is not far from the stadium. I mean, everything is in pretty close proximity to, what are they calling it now? Acrisure, or I don't know. They changed the name of the stadium.
The Aftershave Stadium.
I liked it when it was Heinz Stadium. And I especially liked it when it was Heinz Stadium and Heinz Ward played in the stadium.
And Heinz and Dad entertained at halftime.
Exactly. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Oh, and Merv Griffin would be the MC for everything.
And he would get everybody's name wrong.
Everybody's name wrong. Hines, and Dad. Boy, you got to be a late night talk show veteran to
To
remember
make
them.
that have that make sense. Well, we did a whole show on Monty Rock the Third, so Heinz and Dad were coming. We just had to wait for the right time.
If you want unique and far in the distant past societal references, tune us in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We have a reference for you that we guarantee you'll have to go look up.
And guaranteed to mention Senior Wences in the credits.
There's another one. Michael's pulling them out this morning. Or who was the other two favorites that I came upon the other day? Bill Ford and Mimi Hines.
Wow.
Remember them?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Not exactly Les Paul and Mary Ford, but still.
No, not exactly. But she was interesting. Is she had, I mean, literally buck teeth. I mean, this woman had teeth that stuck 2 inches out of her mouth.
She had a look.
She had a look, man. She had a look. She looked like Imogene Coca with bad teeth. And another reference of the time. But I happened to be clicking across something, and there her and her strange looking. I never quite got what, if they were married or if they were boyfriend and girlfriend or a comedy team or what their deal was.
It was an unsatisfied relationship. We couldn't quite put our finger on what was going on there.
I don't know if I'd want her fingers on many of what was going on.
But see, there's another problem that they kept them distant from one another, kept them from the full commitment.
But they were two odd-looking people. You know, you looked at them. You know, your eye was attracted to their presence, not necessarily them, but their presence.
They were sort of a burlesque act.
Yeah. Which going back to Heinz and Dad, that was a dance act. That was
name another dance act. There are no dance acts anymore.
Not anymore.
Because the boy bands and the girl bands from Korea, they do the dancing and the singing, but it has to be dancing alone will get it done. We got to dance and we have to sing, and you have to have a pop hit.
That's kind of a shame. I mean, I used to enjoy watching some of those soft shoe people, Donald O'Connor, and Ann Miller. You know, I mean, she could act, obviously, but she was, they could get up and do a dance routine. Sammy Davis Jr. was incredible dancer.
Right.
But no, you're right. Just like there's no more variety shows.
Senior Wences could not dance, and don't ask him to dance.
He kept trying.
He might do he might dance the stroll. Remember the stroll?
Yep.
It's just like walking and snapping your fingers. That's the kind of dance you might get out of Senior Wences, but do not wait for it.
That's to go. And on that note, Michael, what do you say we meet on Wednesday?
It'll be a wacky Wednesday. Yeah. We should do it.
We should be hot and ready to go. Again, I apologize for the lateness this morning. We're having our internet issues again in this building, and they don't want to, for some reason.
They don't want you to plug right in and use the internet. That's too dangerous.
Yeah, I'm going to take my internet stack thing wireless down to the T-Mobile people today and get a new internet thingy, whatever they call it, because I'm on the wireless and it's supposed to work well, but it doesn't.
We'll meet here Wednesday, Vinnie. Have a great day. Have a great drive around town. I saw you took your car up to the Joe, and you had a little snow up there.
Yeah, well, it snowed last week here in Seattle. It snowed and hailed on Thursday.
Dodgers got
And it
snowed
was,
out in Denver.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean it's it's still, well, you know how it is here. Crazy weather until July 4th. You don't know exactly what you're going to get. And then on July 4th this year, we don't know what we're going to get. So
Some July,
Anyway.
remember, there's no sun. What happens is the summer never comes, and that's real by the 4th of July. If there's no sun by the
Don't
4th
say
of July,
that,
you know it's
Michael.
going to be one
I
of those
can't
years.
do that. I can't do that this year.
No, it's
I
going to be
can't.
fine.
I can't do.
Gloom
can't do
and gray.
I can't do that. I have to go find some sun, man.
Come on down.
I got to have some sun. I can't go to July 4th being as pasty and white as I am.
You'll be tan and relaxed by Wednesday, Vinnie. I'll see you then.
All right, if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise. Michael,
Yeah.
have a good one. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you on Wednesday at 10:10. Until then, please remember, peace, love, and Manischewitz.
What a wine.
See you, Mikey. See you, everybody.
See you, Vin.